Are we seeing the signs of the end times? Or is the world just riding off the rails, on the train of questionable sanity, as it were? Let's give it a honk! We got a question from a viewer recently. Do you think the signs of the end of days are happening? I do, my friend, and it's actually one of the driving forces behind why I started this channel. I believe time is very short and we have a limited window in which to share the gospel. I closely follow a couple of ministries that specialize on this topic. One is End Times Headlines. Brother Ricky has a free app, a YouTube channel linked in the comments, and they're on many social media platforms. The other is RaptureReady.com. Both link to current headlines, offer commentaries on how those headlines are prophetically significant, and dig deeper into what's going on from a biblical perspective. In Luke 21 and Matthew 24, Jesus gives us several things to watch for. Keep in mind when you read those passages that Jesus was answering a multi-pronged question. That's probably a video for another day, though. Let's take a closer look, though, at what he says in Luke 21:28. So when all these things begin to happen, stand and look up, for your salvation is near. So we won't be here for everything that happens in those chapters. But when we see that boulder start rolling, Indiana, we're to be looking skyward with anticipation that he is coming to fulfill his promise in John 14:3. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. People frequently tell me that every generation thought it would see the return of Jesus, so why is this one any different? It's true there have been wars and famines. It's true there have been earthquakes, false prophets, and cosmic events throughout history. However, there are several things that solidify it for me. For instance, Jesus said it would be like birth pains, which increase in intensity and frequency until the baby comes. The convergence of all these things happening with increasing frequency and intensity has been so immense that it's caught the attention of non-believers. I've literally heard a podcaster say, "I'm not a Christian, but I know we're in the end times," a couple months back. Another thing is technological advancement. Until our generation, global currency control was impossible because any form of cash can fly under the radar. Just ask the mafia or any drug dealer. Actually, that's a very bad idea. Don't talk to those guys. Digital currency, tied to a social credit score system, powered and monitored by AI through implantable tech, such as digital tattoos or microchips, makes a beast complete control system not only possible, but it's being formed right before our eyes. Until our generation, it was impossible for the whole world to gaze upon the dead bodies of the two witnesses for 3.5 days in Revelation 11. Now, they just need to set up a webcam, and every news network and podcaster that despised the witnesses can tap into that feed for their gloat streams. But the thing that really ties it all together is also the thing that much of the world absolutely abhors right now. Israel is a nation again. Let's go back to Luke 21:28 and see how Jesus continued that conversation. Then he gave them this illustration. Notice the fig tree or any other tree. When the leaves come out, you know without being told that summer is near. In the same way, when you see all these things taking place, you can know that the kingdom of God is near. I tell you the truth, this generation will not pass from the scene until all these things have taken place. Many of us believe the fig tree is more than just an illustration that we would know the season of his return, not the day or the hour, the season, but that the fig tree represents Israel. In Luke 13, Jesus tells a parable about a fig tree that wouldn't produce any fruit. And in Mark 11, he cursed a fig tree that didn't have fruit. It had leaves as though it had fruit, but it didn't have any fruit. The tree withered. Previous generations had no Israel. Mark Twain described the area as a hopeless, dreary, heartbroken land. Regarding the area near Jerusalem, he wrote, There was hardly a tree or shrub anywhere. Even the olive tree and the cactus, those fast friends of a worthless soil, had almost deserted the country. There couldn't be a third temple, and no one cared about Jerusalem. It wasn't an immovable rock that injures everyone who tries to move it. Only our generation witnessed the rebirth of Israel and how the land responded to their return. Now suddenly everybody wants to take land away from Israel. Everyone wants a chunk of Jerusalem. And despite being a tiny country surrounded by enormous hostile countries, it still exists. Coincidence? Another thing I need to address is there are some Christians who try to say the rapture happened back then, because Jesus said this generation won't pass away until all these things have taken place. It's a classic case of not taking things in context, and a patently absurd assertion devoid of reason, historical evidence, scriptural support, and frankly, intelligent thought. Read verses 31 and 32 together, and you see that the generation that won't pass away is the generation that sees these things beginning to take place. One last thing that gets me excited that we're so close to the end. Jesus said in Matthew 24:14, "And the good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout the whole world, so that all nations will hear it, and then the end will come." We live in a time when the gospel is going out like never before. Think about the powerful technological tools we have access to. You can create a video or audio clip and share it on the internet, which can be heard throughout the world. We have translation tools and study tools, and we can help fund ministries and missionaries that are physically taking the gospel to the most dangerous countries on the planet. Bottom line is, support ministries that are actually doing the work, not funding some toothy-grinned mega preacher's next private jet. So let's get at it, Desert Preacher Army, and let's use everything we've got to spread the gospel. Until then, see you in the trenches.